Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Suzie Q Stamping 3 on Thursday. Today is Thursday, April 13th, and it is a little after 3 o'clock because I was having some issues. My mom has locked herself out of her car, and so we were trying to figure out how we can get her unlocked. Anyway, we have a winner for last week's cards. It seems like it's been forever since I've been here with you. Dorothy took over for me last week because I went to the dentist. So here are the 3 cards that she made last week on April 6th, and the winner is Cindy McGee. So congratulations, Cindy, for winning these cards. Here's a fun fold card, and then here's our little bunny with the rainy days. And then I do have a piece of white paper inside for you so that you can stamp your own greeting. All right, so as most of you know, our catalog, our annual catalog, is retiring at the end of this month. And look what I have. I have this beautiful new catalog that the mailman sent in my mailbox.
Mine's bent.
I'm really upset about that. But anyway, yeah, I guess I could still use it. Maybe I'll have to buy another one. I don't know. All right. So here is the catalog. I can't open it anymore, and I shouldn't even have flipped the pages, but my mind is like going all over the place. May 2nd is when you will be able to order from this catalog. If you have ordered from me in the last 6 months and I had your information, other than some new people, you will get your catalog automatically from Stampin' Up. So you should be receiving those sometime later in the month of April. So I don't have my phone up here, so I cannot see what I'm doing. But I do want to thank one of my customers, Barb. She sent me this really pretty spring card for Easter, and I just love getting happy mail from you guys. It always puts a smile on my face. So she did a really nice job on that. I also want to mention that I had posted a little question earlier today of what today was and what I should be doing. And Barb came back. She was the first one to comment that it was Thursday, so it was video day. So she will be receiving a free card kit in the mail with the tutorial on how to put that card together. Okay, so let's start today. I am using, oh, well, hello, Cindy. I'm so glad that you made it today. Oh, I have to take a breather. So we're going to make cards today using the Tea Boutique paper along with the Freshcut Flowers stamp set. So this is the first card that we're going to make, and it's really a simple card, but it's really got a wow factor to it. And then I put a great big greeting on the inside. So I've got a piece of Tahitian Tide that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4, and I have embossed that with one of the 3 basic 3D embossers that we have on online exclusives right now. So this is one of the 3. So it has these little stars in it. So I thought that kind of went cute with the teapot paper. I have 3 squares, and I used the stylish stitched shapes to cut out my little squares, the small, not the smallest, but the second smallest. So I have 3 of those, and I cut those out of the DSP paper. Now here's where it gets kind of tricky. The next size up for my squares were too big. So these the layer squares measure 1 5/8. I believe that's eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. So I have 3 of those that the designer series paper is going to be on. And then I have our inside piece. So let's go ahead and get started with attaching all of this down, and then we will do our stamping. I am going to use my liquid glue. I am telling you, I am loving this weather. It is so nice, except for the fact that I know that a chore outside that takes me about, I don't know, 3 hours or so is coming up soon. So I'm going to have to start mowing the grass and have to start redoing my whole weekly schedule. And I think I might be starting to get just about out of my glue. Hopefully we can make it do. When I use my embossing folders and I do my embossing, I like to put glue on it so that I know that it's going to get down in those cracks and crevices. But I might have a blockage in my glue bottle. No, I got it. All right, so I'm just going to lay this on the front piece of our Tahitian tide and getting it as centered as I can. And so far today, my centering has not been too good. Looks good enough. All right. I'm going to give that another thing with my bone folder here. So Cindy, are you all ready for our coffee and chat tomorrow at 10 o'clock? I'm going to be posting out there that I need y'all to give me some ideas of what you'd like to chat about. If you have any specific questions about anything.
That's for an hour?
Mm-hmm. My assistant said she forgot about it for tomorrow.
Double booked myself.
We only have coffee and chat twice a month because I have classes on the other 2 Fridays and it just wouldn't work out. We might have to pick another day if we want to do it every week. So these teapots are 1 sheet, and I'm able to get about 4 of them out of 1 sheet. If you're very careful, you could maybe get more than that. Possibly you could just cut these. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to welcome everybody that may be watching the replay. I go kind of by the seat of my pants, and I don't have a script that I say all the time that sometimes confuses me. All right, so now that we have those, you'll notice that I have got 2 teapots that are facing to the right and 1 facing to the left. So we're going to put the one facing to the left in the center and even these out. So what I did was I kind of laid them out where I wanted them. And then I'm going to lay the top one and the bottom one, and then I can center that middle one there. This is just a real simple, cute card that you can send to somebody. You could use it for a birthday card, a thinking of you card, just any kind of occasion. I'm going to be getting a bunch of cards ready to take with me for my Blue Star Mom. So I want to line this up and make sure that I can get it even. So we're going to take my little ruler here Place it next to, if I can get my fingers to work. Hi, Beverly. How are you doing, girl? So we're going to lay that one just about there. You enjoying this nice weather that we're having? I'm loving it. I've got my windows open, and I really don't want to turn the air on yet.
With the windows all open, it really hasn't been that bad.
No, it hasn't.
It's when we just don't open but two windows.
Right. Well, my problem is my windows are very hard to open, and so I have a hard time opening them. Even before I had my fingernails. So that one is just a little bit off, but it's okay. All right. So then on the inside, I'm stamping the "You always give me a reason to smile." I just thought this was a real fun card. The stamp set is retiring. We have a lot of stamp sets going out, but we have a lot of nice ones coming back in, so that's good. I'm really looking forward to my pre-order coming in. It should be here Monday. Yeah, when the farmers plant, it's really dusty, I bet. Chuck is wanting to get our raised garden beds, and I really totally messed that card up because I popped mine up. Oh well, flat or popped, it doesn't matter. I'm using the Orchid Oasis, and I'm going to stamp up this big stamp.
Saves on postage.
Yeah, it does save on postage. Of course, I hope many of you have your Stamparatus because it is gone. There is no more. I have not had a chance to tell Stampin' Up! My opinion on that. I've just been too busy this week. Guess what I've been doing? The procrastination stage was over. I had to finally bite the bullet and get my taxes done. I've just about got them ready to submit. So after all week. All right. So I've lined up my stamp, and we're going to give it a good press here. I just don't know why they got rid of the Stamparatus. It was so different than the other ones that are on the market. Maybe they'll come out with something better. All right. Well, that didn't do so well, so let's lay it down, and I need to press right here in the reason. Sometimes I just don't have the strength. Tuesday, I woke up, Monday, I guess it was, and my shoulder hurt so bad. And I didn't do anything to it, but it really hurt. And then I had a doctor's appointment with Chuck up in Jeff. And I got home and I thought, I am just not up to doing a technique today because my shoulder hurts. I don't think I could have done any stamping or anything. So Beverly, are you going to be able to join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock live here on Facebook for our coffee and chat? You don't have to drink coffee. You can drink tea or soda, water. We're just going to get together and have us a little chat. And I don't know why this isn't working because it worked for me this morning just fine and dandy.
You want me to try pressing?
I don't understand it either, Cindy. No, I'm just going to have to stand up and press really hard on it. It could just be that I'm not hitting it in the right spots. I had wanted to get a second Stamparatus, And they got sold out before I could get me one ordered. I do want to say, if you've ordered something recently and you're still waiting on it, be patient. There, that's much better. They did something that I kind of disagreed with, but as usual, nobody asked for my opinion. They opened up pre-order for the new catalog for demonstrators, plus started the last chance. Hi, Cherie. The last chance stuff on the same day. So unless you are a demonstrator that can afford the extra overnight postage, you have to wait for your order. So mine is supposed to be in here on Monday or Tuesday. And as soon as I get it, then we're going to do a product reveal. You're not too late, Cherie. You're just fine. So this is the card that we're making. And then I've just stamped my inside. We're going to attach that. And Cindy McGee got the cards from last week. She was the winner. Barb Neville, she won a free card kit for knowing what day it was. I reminded her that she needed to be on today, but sometimes she has problems. I am so excited to see everybody next week at card class. Card class is always so much fun for me. It's a long day, but I love it. All right, so I'm not putting a greeting on the outside of this because I didn't want it to take away from the embossed background. So if you win the cards, then you can always use a small die or punch or something and put you a little greeting on the front. So that's card number 1 today. All right, let's cover up this ink so that I don't get my arm in it. I'm saving the last card. I'm saving the best for last here because it's a fun fold, but it's a really easy fun fold. I don't need this. All right, for this card, I am using the greetings from, I'm using Thinking of You out of the favorite set of mine. Anybody remember what that is? Go to greetings. I am so glad that's staying in the catalog because I was going to have to cry. And then I'm using a stamp that is from the Lovely You set. I am using Cherished Friends, a cherished friend. Okay, so here is the second card. And this does have a lot of little pieces to it, but it's a really simple card that I think looks really pretty. Start using up that DSP, ladies, because we got some pretty ones coming in. So here is our layers. We have a Starry Sky, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. We have a piece of fresh freesia, and that one is staying in the catalog, so that's good. And this one measures 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have a layer of the DSP, which is the back side of our teapots, and that measures 3 3/4 by 5. So that's going to lay down there like so. Then we have 2 strips, and let me tell you about my story this morning. While I was making this card, I pulled out my drawer that has my green in it. All right, and this piece measures 2 3/16 by 5. So 2 3/16, okay? And then the designer series paper, it measures 2 inches by 4 7/8. So you're going to have a real narrow little border around this. So anyway, I pull out my green, thinking that it was my parakeet party. I kept looking at that green, and I kept looking at that green, and I thought, there is just something wrong with that. That is just not, that just doesn't go with this paper. So I got to looking and thinking, and I thought, well, that's not even Parakeet Party. It was Pear Pizzazz, because Parakeet Party is right before my folder with my Pear Pizzazz. And I just opened my drawer up like I knew what I was doing and pulled out a scrap to cut this piece. And you are just going to have a very narrow border around it. But I like that Parakeet Party. It just kind of pops off the paper. So let's go ahead and begin to layer our pieces. And I'm going to just use my Stampin' Seal Plus for this. So we'll layer our Fresh Freesia piece. So keep up, ladies, on the clearance rack and what's going out. The discontinued stuff, a lot of it, I know that a lot of the inks and the ink refills that are being discontinued are no longer available. Those always seem to sell out fast. And I probably should have gotten some more of my evening evergreen, but I've been told I just cannot hoard my paper. I'm sure that I will fall in love with the colors that we're getting. So did you have fun playing cards today, Cherie? Dorothy wanted to call you earlier. I said she's playing cards. She goes, oh, that's right. So now this piece is going to butt up right at the bottom of your designer series paper and right at the top. So it is even with the designer series paper that you have for your layer. And I'm just a tad off. See if I can get that to come up there. And there we go. Oh, looks pretty straight. All right, now I have a piece of Fresh Freesia. I have the piece of designer paper that matches the piece here, and then I have a piece of basic white. If you don't have the stitched rectangle dies, order them, ladies. Even though they're going out of the catalog, they are like my ultimate favorite for layering. Oh, you have a new battery-powered lawnmower. Let me know how that works for you. I don't think a battery-powered lawnmower would work so well for us. I am going to use the Orchid Oasis again, and I'm going to stamp thank you on this little piece of white, and hopefully I can get it straight. I'm going to have to bring it towards me so that I'm not trying to stretch my neck like a giraffe. I think I got too much lawn to cut for a battery-operated lawnmower. Okay, so I got that stamped. While we've got the ink out, we're going to go ahead and stamp our inside greeting, which is cherished friend. So it says, thinking of you on the outside. It lasts 1 hour. Well, it takes, between Dorothy and I mowing the field and the 2 yards, it takes us about 3 hours. And I don't think I could push mow it. Oh, so Terry is back up by New York. So you are playing in the water and planting flowers. How fun. Okay. So here I'm going to stamp cherished friend. Okay. And now we're done with our stamping. And I can close that up. I have a piece of the designer series paper that measures a 1/2 inch, and it's a little bit longer than what I need, but I can trim it off once I get it placed down. I'd rather cut it off than not worry about having it precise. So I just want to give out big kudos to my assistant, Dorothy. She did such a fabulous job last week on the cards. She talks so much more and better and goofier than I do. I guess because I have too much on my mind. She just goes along with it. So I just snipped off the little piece that was an extra piece. Now we're going to layer these pieces.
Grandma is safely in her car and on her way to the next place.
Okay. So Mom got into her car thanks to her
AAA.
AAA.
They beat Gilbert there.
Oh, AAA beat my son-in-law because he'd left to go and do it. So that's the fastest I've ever had AAA respond. Usually we wait 2 hours. But they got her into her car. Sometimes the lock doesn't want to work, and so she doesn't normally lock it for some reason. She locked it today, and she says, well, you told me that it was working. I don't remember that, but that's okay, because I know I forget a lot of things nowadays. I think I need to get some memory medication or empty my file cabinets. All right. So stay tuned until the very end of this video because I have a special for you. Let's see, that is still not even. I really think I'm going to have to start wearing my glasses all the time. And I don't want to because they get in my way. But sometimes I can lay it down and it looks straight until I hold it up, and then it no longer looks straight. But ginkgo biloba, huh, for your memory? Oh, I'm going to have to get something, I think, because I checked into Prevagen, and that's like $30 for a month. It's like, well, that's high. Thank you, Cherie. These were my Easter nails. I love the color of them. I don't normally go with purple, but these are really pretty. They'll get changed next week. All right, so there I have my thinking of you. Now we're ready to finish assembling the card. I'm just going to use the tape runner for the inside. Oops. Boy, that had a... I thought I had all my little dimensional dots picked up. You all should have seen my room this morning. Oh my gosh, you could not see the bottom of my desk, or the top of my desk, I should say, because I had all my tax papers laying everywhere.
Even in my chair.
Even in Dorothy's chair. She got upset when she got over here for coffee. She just removed them, and no, I didn't have any in your chair today. It was yesterday. Yesterday I had them in her chair. I want to double check my figures because I don't think I have entered something correctly. I know if I wasn't so cheap, I would just have them done. But all right, we are going to use some dimensionals now, and we're going to put some dimensionals on our little greeting. We're going to use about 6 of them, 1 in each corner. And I think I need my take your pick tool. You're going a lot faster than me trying to get them off my... It is feeling better, Cherie. I don't know what I did to it. I don't know if I slept wrong on it, but I mean, it hurt all week. I mean, it always hurts, but it hurt a lot more this week than it normally does. So I used 6, 3 on each side, picking off those backings. So I don't know. I think maybe I slept on it wrong. but it just kind of made me feel miserable. I just didn't feel good. And now we're going to line this up to where it's even with the outer layer of the fresh freesia. Maybe not quite that much, because I wanted to kind of see what it does if I did it this way. I want it to be kind of over to the parakeet party. That looks good. So there's that. Now we're going to take some of the in color dots that were in from last year and scatter some dots around in that parakeet party. Whoops, I removed that. Well, parakeet party, I'm not the greatest fan of it, but I do like it for some accenting, like this card here, the accenting of the rest of the colors that are in that paper. So there is card number 2 today. And then there's plenty of room for you to write a little note and then sign your name. So card number 2, and that's using the Lovely You set, Go To Greetings, and then the Tea Boutique paper. Get me a drink. All right, it shows that I have 6 people on here. Let's see. We have Cindy, Dorothy, Cherie, Terry, Beverly. I have a lurker out there. I would love for you to make a comment and let me know who is watching today. You never know when I might feel very giving and give away a prize for those that are watching. All right, third card, fun fold card. I know, Cindy, I was the same way. I liked the Orchid Oasis, and I liked the Starry Sky. The Sweet Sorbet wasn't bad, and I liked the Tahitian Tide because it was kind of a turquoise. But boy, I'm telling you, that parakeet party, you are on watching, Mary. Thank you very much for letting me know that you were here. I appreciate it. But parakeet party was just one that I just wasn't real fond of. I mean, but it has grown on me. I don't use it maybe as much as some do, but I use it for some accent pieces. So let me get some of this stuff put away so that I'm not trying to, and I think I'm doing pretty good on time today. All right, which is good, because stay tuned, because I have a special this afternoon that I want to offer all of you. So this is our third card today. I don't know if you can see, but I Winkestellaed my flowers. Like somebody said, you never can have too much Winkestella. Anyway, this card opens up like this and then like this. So I am using Orchid Oasis and Garden Green, which are papers that match the designer series paper. This is also the Tea Boutique. Oh, I think maybe I forgot you. So maybe I've got more than 6 people watching. It says 6, but okay. So let's get started on this card. I will give you the measurements for this one. Now, this set of stamps, the Freshcut Flower stems, is being retired, as well as the Freshcut stems dies. Get things organized here. So here is the Freshcut Flowers. And so I use this big stamp today is what I'm using. And then on the inside, I used a leaf from Lovely You. Okay. So let's get started with our stamping after I tell you what we're using. So I have a piece of card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of designer series paper cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and we do have to do some cutting. Then I have another piece that is the green, garden green, and it's 8.5 by 3, scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces of white, and they are measured at, I lost my ruler. Oh, here it is. It's under a pair of scissors. It's 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. And I have 2 pieces. One's going to be the inside and one's going to be the outside of our little mini card. So this is like 2 cards in one. Okay, so but before we start doing that, let's cut our paper. All right, now if you are using directional paper like I am today, okay, you want to make sure that you're going to be cutting it in the right direction and not the opposite direction. So we're going to first take our cardstock, and I am going to place the score line. I had a pair of glasses in here today. And let me get a pair out real quick so that I can actually see. I know. Okay, you want to take your score line. So right there is my score. And I want to place it right there in the groove for my cutting blade. And I want to take the triangle or the corner, the lower right hand corner as I've opened my card. So as you can see, I've opened it up. We're working on the right side. The score line goes into the center of that cutting track, as well as the little point. Right now, I usually will lay my cutting arm, whatever this wants to be called. Today, I don't know, maybe Sue. And I'm going to start in the middle and make my cut. That way I know it's not going to make it jagged. So you're going to wind up with a piece of leftover paper like this that you can either use on another card, or a lot of times if I have these, I'll use a die cut and die cut something out of that. All right. So now to make sure that you're cutting your paper right, I lay my designer series paper on the front of my card, and I know that I want to cut from the upper left to the lower right. That way I'm going to get my angles correctly. If this wasn't a directional paper, then you could make do with it. But even so, you still want to kind of get it on the same angle. So again, I'm going to line up right up here at the top left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm going to bring my trimmer blade, it's caught up on my stand there, to the center, and then I'm going to make my cut line. So then I wind up with 2 right angle triangles. Okay, now we're going to use both of those. I want my bone folder that was here. There it is. I'm going to give this a real good crease now that we've cut it. And we are going to lay this piece on this side. Okay, so I'm going to use my glue so that maybe I can get it to move it around a little bit. Ladies, I am so excited. I have a feeling, though, that with the way they're releasing catalogs this year, my scheduled normal all-day workshop classes, I'm going to have to rethink them because I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get all the supplies that I need to have the class in May. So I may we will be doing it in June. I might have it as a birthday party for me. That way I have friends to celebrate my birthday. No presents, please. I just want to have fellowship and make cards. So much fun. All right, so now we're going to lay the other piece in here on the inside. And you do want to try to have a little bit of a border around it. Well, then I might have to look into doing that, because my birthday's close to the beginning of June. So it's not like summer's in full swing yet, because I have a meeting in Kansas City on the 20th of May. And then we have, of course, Memorial Day, and I don't want it that weekend. So, and I'm thinking of time frame getting the product to everybody, or at least getting it to me so that I can get it cut. All right. Now let's do some stamping. So on the front piece of our card, we are going to stamp our flowers. And that flower, it looks really big, but it fits just right on that card front. Now I know I had, but I think we took and moved it, my Memento Black. I think I put it away. See, I work so much better when things are cluttered, because then I know where things are at, or at least they're supposed to be here on my desk, instead of put away where they're supposed to be. All right, so I'm just stamping up my flower with my Memento Black. I tried this several different ways this morning. I really wanted to emboss it. For some reason, every time I tried to emboss it, it didn't completely emboss, and so I had stuff that didn't. I still had that powdery stuff. So I'm just going to lay this down. Hopefully I got it, didn't get it off the top. So Mary, are you going to be able to make it to our coffee and chat tomorrow? You don't have to drink coffee. You can drink tea, or you can't drink soda though, because I know you're not supposed to be having soda. You might have to drink water. So there is our stamped image. I'm going to wash off my stamp. Now, I thought we had garden green blends, but I couldn't find them this morning. Garden green blends. I couldn't find Dorothy's little book either that said whether we had them or not. So I made do with my ink pad and a block.
Garden Green does not offer blends.
Oh, it doesn't offer blends. No wonder I couldn't find them, right? Oh, I just stuck my finger in the ink. Give me just a second. Let me get a baby wipe out here, because I don't want to get ink all over our card. That would be a shame. I wondered why I couldn't find them.
That is why.
And that would be why. I tried Parakeet Party, but it was just too bright of a leaf color, so I opted no. I would just do the blender. But we don't need this open, so we're going to close it. So I took one of the blender brushes, okay, made sure that there wasn't anything on the tip of it, even though it looks like there is. There's nothing there. And I just brought in my blender brush, and I brought out that ink. Okay, now some of them got darker than what I wanted them to be, and then the very first one that I colored the wrong thing, thinking that it was part of the leaf, and it was not. So I just went like this, randomly coloring the leaves, the green. I didn't pick up new ink every time. I had some of them lighter. That kind of gave me my fake shading that I like to do. I have to admit, coloring doesn't scare me as much as it once did. I can remember 2 years ago, coloring just like, you're not going to get me to do that. All right, so you all know how to color. I know, and some of you color so much prettier than I do. So, because the magic of television, I already have one done. So we don't have to sit here and you don't have to watch me color this whole flower. I used fresh freesia for my little inside pieces. No, I'm sorry. I used fresh freesia for the flowers, and then I used the light petal pink for the inside of this, for the stamens, okay? And then of course I Wincastellied it. That's my word, okay? Wincastella. Because I squeezed my Wincastella out on a flower, and did it juice out? Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't want to waste it, so I Wincastella'd. All right, so we got that done. Now let's go ahead and do our stamping. So I used Memento Black. I used the little word smile from the Lovely You stamp set, and it fits just perfect down here in the corner. So it says smile. This is another one of those cards just to send to somebody because you want to cheer them up. So that says smile. Then on the inside of my card, I have the little word that says always. So smile always, because we always have something that is good to smile about. If you wake up in the morning and you're vertical, it's a good day. And then I took one of the leaves from the Lovely You. Yes, the blender pens and the Stampin' Blends, they have made coloring for me more fun. I got to get a piece of scratch paper here. I'm going to take the garden green with this little leaf, but I didn't think that the garden green dark really looked well, so I'm stamping it off on a piece of scratch paper, and then I'm just going to put it down here on the bottom. I'm going to stamp it again, stamp it off, and put another one up there. Okay, so you still have room to write a little note to your friend. All right, so we are done with our inks. I'm so glad I don't have to make that mess anymore. Clean them off, because my assistant decided that she wanted to complain about having to clean up my inks or my stamps, so I'm not asking her anymore. But she asked me to help her clean up last week. She said, I don't have everything cleaned up yet. Can you come and help me?
I really just wanted you to sit in the room with me.
Oh, well, I had to help her clean up. I have a lot to do because before I can do my new product reveal, I have got to clean up this room. I have got stuff everywhere. All right. This is such a simple, easy, quick card. I think the longest thing is coloring. Okay. And you wouldn't even have to color it. And I'll show you another example here in a minute. So we're going to now attach this to the front piece of the green. And I chose garden green because it is one of the colors in here. And it just kind of gives it that, I don't know, really bright look to it. I think the green just kind of adds to this paper with the starry sky. And I picked the Fresh Freesia Flowers because I didn't really like how the petal pink ones looked. They looked kind of, I don't know, gray toned or something. Now that we have the windows open, we can hear the dogs over at Dorothy's house whining. So we got,
Only because Grandpa's home.
yeah, Chuck just got home, and so the dogs heard the car come in, and so now they're ready to come pounce on him. And when I say pounce, I mean a pounce. So I asked it earlier, but only Cindy was on. So if you think you're going to make it to the coffee and chat tomorrow, bring some questions, bring some topics, bring something that you want to discuss.
And it can be anything. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
it doesn't have to be just about cards or making cards. It can be about anything, okay? So now that we have our little card, we're going to put it in our big card. So we're going to attach it with our multi-purpose glue. You know, another thing is I never liked glue before I got these precision bottles. I made such a mess with it that and now I find myself using the glue so much more. So I'm just trying to center this in there, press it down, flap that up, flap that down, and now let's do some embellishments. And we're going to use those same color in color dots that we had last year. I don't know, those that came to my class had gotten some of these. I don't know if this is the one that's got my, yes it does, okay. And I used the variegated blue ones, these light blue ones here that are I believe they're the Orchid Oasis. And I'm just going to scatter 3 of those on the front of my card here to finish that off. So there is card number 3. So what do you think, ladies? Do you like those cards today? Which one? I get you, Terry, but you know what? I really don't mind my Stampin' Seal Plus once you get the feel for it. It's not bad. Mary, it starts at 10 o'clock on my Facebook page. So we'll be live at 10 o'clock tomorrow, just kind of like what we're doing today. But we'll be on live. I want to try to figure out how I can get all of you guys so that I can see you, so that we're not just seeing me, okay? All right, so there's card number 3. Here's card number 2. And then card number 1. All right. I knew y'all would like number 3 because it's a fun fold card. So those are the cards. Now, I have a special. You really like the teapots? Well, I have 2 with teapots, Beverly. 1 and 2 both have teapots. All right. So who's ready for a special? All right. So here is a special ordering. If you order the Freshcut Flowers stamp set and the Freshcut stems dies, which right now are on sale, the stamp set is only $8. The dies are $13.60. You can't beat that, ladies. And if you remember right, these dies were only a special edition last fall, and that's why I got them, because I had the Freshcut Flowers. So this is a special, okay? So if you order that stamp set and die set, you are going to receive, and I covered it up, so let me get it. You are going to receive a special card kit from me. with instructions. And it will look like this. So you will get your 2 pieces of the basic white, your piece of the green, garden green, a 6x6 piece of the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper, and a piece of the Fresh Freesia cardstock. Okay, you will get all of those. Now, I am not cutting your angle, but you will have directions on. Yes, you can order more than that on the Hostess code, but it has to be using my personal Hostess code, and Dorothy will put that up as a banner here in just a second. So you'll also have scraps from that 6x6 piece that you can make another card with. Okay, so you will get this kit just like it looks like this. Okay, now I do not have enough of the in color dots, okay, but I can send you some of the pastel dots if you want. But this is the way that card could look if you don't stamp it with the big flower. I embossed it in white using the smaller flower.
You can see it better in person. I think the white
this
makes it.
This is not gonna. It's not showing up real well in person.
Or in person, it shows up.
It shows up better in person. Let me change my lighting.
That's a little better.
Okay, so you can kind of see, and I'll take a picture of it. Maybe with the lighting of the camera, it'll show up better. I've embossed in white this flower right here. I also embossed Miles Apart, but Still in My Heart from the lovely You stamp collection. And then I did a watercolor wash. So I just took my water painter with my Fresh Freesia and I just watercolor washed it. So then that is the inside. Okay, so that is the kit that you will receive for ordering the Freshcut Flowers and the Freshcut Stems die, and use host code H2YFC9. I'm sorry, 9 dyslexic YT. Okay, so if you just go out and you punch in to search, here's the item numbers: 159018 and 160251. Okay, I am starting to do something a little bit different with this week's.
They only have until 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes, and you only have until 5 o'clock tomorrow, Friday night. Okay, so that I can go ahead and get the kits made up and then sent out in the mail. Okay, so you have from now until 5 o'clock tomorrow, Friday night the 14th, to receive the free kit. Okay, instead of trying to do a tutorial for all 3 of the cards that I make on Thursdays, I am going to choose just one of the 3 and post it out there on my blog. This one will not be posted on my blog. So this tutorial will only be available to those of you that order this special from me, or they'll have to purchase it. And I'm still working on details on how I charge for my tutorials. But it was getting to be too much for me to try to post 3 cards using a lot of different supplies. So I thought, okay, I'm going to kind of change things up with the new catalog coming out and things like that. So my original intent of 3 on Thursday was to make 3 cards using the same stamp set. Well, I get too many stamp sets and we'd never get through all of them. So, but today I really thought I wanted to use, first of all, I wanted to use up some designer series paper because I need to make room for the new. And I really do like the Freshcut Flowers and the die set. So, because you could even stamp this, color it, die cut it, and then pop it up on your green so that it would give you some dimension. Okay, so anyway, that is what I have for you today, ladies. Let's see. I will hopefully see a lot of you tomorrow at 10 o'clock for our coffee and chat. Bring your questions. Bring any topic that you would like to talk about. Other than asking me to open up the new catalog, which I cannot do. But like I said, a lot of you should be getting your catalogs here really soon. I can't remember what day they sent them out, but really soon you should be receiving them. So when you do, shoot me a text and let me know that you've gotten your new catalog, okay? If you haven't ordered from me and you would like a catalog, then what I do is I charge you shipping, and they're about $8 for me to ship. But then on your first order of $50, then I give you a product credit of $8. So whatever it costs me to ship it to you that you pay, then I will give you a credit of that amount. So you're really not out the cost of the shipping, okay? But that's when you place your first order. All right, ladies, I will sign off for today. Remember, do what you love and love what you do. And we will see you all tomorrow at 10 o'clock for our coffee and chat. Bye.